Some people swear by silicones for smooth skin and frizz-free hair, and some people say that it clogs pores and causes acne. So what's the real deal with silicones? I break it all down in this video. Silicone comes from silica. Silica is found in quartz, sand and in rocks like granite. And this silica is modified synthetically in the lab to produce silicone. Different derivatives of silicone is used in skincare, meaning silicone in chemical reactions with different atoms and molecules creates different kinds of compounds, and some of these compounds are used in skincare and also in hair care. And since it's primarily most of the time the derivatives of silicone which is used in skin and hair care, it won't always be listed as silicone in the ingredient list. To identify silicone in the ingredients, look out for ingredients which end with these three extensions. One of the most common silicone derivatives that's used in skincare is dimethicone. Dimethicone is a silicone polymer. A polymer basically means a same molecule is repeating itself to form a long chain. Dimethicone, in the case of dimethicone, silicone is repeating itself to form a long silicone polymer, and that's dimethicone. Two quick points before I move on to the next section. Silicone is different from silicone. Silicone is a naturally occurring element. It is the one that's found in the periodic table in the chemistry lessons that we learned in our school. But silicone, on the other hand, is synthetically made in the lab. And silicone is the one that's used in skincare and hair care, and silicone is not used in skincare and hair care. So the pronunciation is almost similar, but just notice the difference in spelling. The second point is there are some ingredients which is used in skincare which ends with silanes. Now, silanes are not silicone, so just something to remember. Now to the section as to how silicone works in skincare and hair care. Silicone offers four primary benefits. First one, they fill in all the gaps in the fine lines and smooth out the surface of the skin. When I say they fill in the gaps in the fine lines and wrinkles, it's important to remember that they're not permanently removing those fine lines and wrinkles from our skin. I hope they did, but they don't. It kind of gives an airbrushed effect and minimizes the appearance of the fine lines and wrinkles. It works for as long as it's on the skin. These silicone, primarily dimethicone, I'm going to say dimethicone from now on most of the time because that's the ingredient, that's the derivative of silicone which is most commonly used in skincare. Now, dimethicone forms a thin layer on top of the skin, and by forming this thin layer on top of the skin, it prevents the hydration loss from the skin. It keeps the skin hydrated to a certain extent. Now, these are classified, this set of ingredients, the silicone derivatives, are classified as emollients. Having said that, an important thing is if you've got a very dry skin or a dehydrated skin and you're using a moisturizer which primarily has only dimethicone, that wouldn't be enough because dimethicone is an emollient. It only forms a thin layer on top of the skin. For dry skin and dehydrated skin, apart from adding hydration to the skin, you also need ingredients which can form a thicker layer on top of the skin. So just remember that if you've got oily skin, dimethicone is a good ingredient. For dry skin and dehydrated skin, once in a while a moisturizer with dimethicone is good enough, but don't completely depend on it because you need a stronger ingredient which can form a thicker layer and prevent the hydration loss from the skin. Dimethicone or other silicone derivatives are also used in primers. Primers is what you would apply on your skin before you apply a makeup. It basically goes and fills in all those gaps because of fine lines, and then when you apply your makeup, the makeup doesn't crease and it also stays for a longer time. You could say that it basically creates a good canvas on the face for the makeup to work on. Another reason why it's common in primers is because it actually absorbs the excess oil on your skin and reduces the shine on your skin, and that's a good thing because that will again make the makeup stay longer and that unnecessary shine is removed. And for the very same reason, you could also find the silicone derivatives in makeup products, basically because it's removing the shine when it's applied on the face, because the shine interferes with the effect that the makeup can create on our face. The second benefit of dimethicone or other silicone derivatives is a nice slip it provides to the skincare products. A lot of skincare products, the texture that they have is because of the silicone derivatives. It enhances the texture of the skincare product. The third benefit is for the hair. It reduces the frizz. It's an anti-frizz ingredient. It also coats that hair and locks the hydration in, which makes the hair appear smooth and more shiny. They strengthen fragile hair and also reduce the tangling in the hair. They're often used in a lot of hair styling products because when used in a hair styling product, they basically form a kind of a barrier on the hair and prevent the hair from getting burnt. The fourth benefit is its usage in sunscreens. It's used in sunscreens because first, it makes the sunscreen spread well because it adds a nice slip to the product. And the second is that it's not water soluble. Meaning that if it's used in a sunscreen, especially in a water-resistant sunscreen, it prevents the sunscreen from leaving our skin because the dimethicone does not dissolve in water, and thus it makes the sunscreen works longer even when we are in water. Though it's actually quite an effective set of ingredients, it gets a lot of bad press, this dimethicone and other silicone derivatives. There's a lot of false information. So in this section, I'm going to bust some of the common myths around this set of ingredients. See, the first myth is that silicone derivatives and dimethicone more commonly clogs the pores, and once an ingredient clogs the pores are the small opening on our skin, and once any ingredient clogs the pores, it will cause acne, pimples, blackheads and whiteheads, and so it's not good for us, mainly, especially if you've got acne. Now this is completely wrong because you see, dimethicone basically sits on the skin. Its molecules are really large and it can't penetrate and get to the deeper layers of the skin. It just sits on the skin. Think of it as a net. So you've got these large molecules and in between there are these tiny gaps. It can't go anywhere beyond the top layer of the skin. And the same goes for all the other silicone derivatives as well. In fact, dimethicone has a comedogenic scale rating of 1. A comedogenic scale measures how likely it is for an ingredient to clog the pores. A rating of 1 means that it is highly unlikely to clog the pores. If you are using a product which has got a silicone derivative and you find that your skin is breaking out, 3 things could be happening. First, maybe you haven't cleansed your face well, and if you don't clean your face well before applying the skincare product, there is bound to be some dirt on your face, and then the silicone is going to form a thin layer on top of the skin, so that's going to trap all that dirt underneath it, and this all can go and clog the pores because it's got nowhere else to go. So it could be that you haven't cleansed your face well. That's first reason. And the second reason is don't immediately blame the silicone derivatives. Look at the ingredient list of the product. Maybe there's another ingredient down there which is actually doing all the harm for your skin. And the third reason is maybe, just maybe, your skin is not reacting well to the silicone derivative. Now, I must say that this is a very highly unlikely reason because silicone's derivatives are basically inert. They are non-reactive. They're classified as inert in chemistry. So they don't react. But it is possible that your skin is not reacting well to it. So that could be the reason, though it's highly unlikely. That could be a reason. The second myth is silicone derivatives and especially dimethicone will suffocate your skin. Again, this is completely false. The way silicone or dimethicone sits on your skin, so it's got large molecules and then there are gaps in between. So basically it's semi-permeable, means air and other ingredients can pass through it and come out of it as well. Don't think of it like a plastic wrap that's suffocating your face. That's not what it is doing. The third myth is it is irritating to the skin, and especially if you've got sensitive skin, stay away from silicone derivatives, dimethicone, etc. Now this is completely false because like I mentioned earlier in the earlier part of the video, it is inert, meaning it's non-reactive. And here's another interesting fact: silicone and its derivatives are used in a lot of medical treatments, and that's used in medical treatments mainly because it's inert and non-reactive. You don't want anything that's going to react to be used in treatments. So that's why silicone is picked, because it doesn't do anything. It doesn't cause any reactions when it comes in contact with our body. So yeah, it definitely is not going to irritate your skin. So that's another myth busted. Again, if your skin is getting irritated, it could be one of the other ingredients in the product, or maybe because you haven't cleansed your face well, which means you're trapping all that dirt, which is what is actually causing the irritation on your skin. The fourth myth is it's going to dry out your skin. Again, this is such a load of false information, because it does the opposite. It forms a thin layer on top of your skin and prevents the loss of water from the skin through evaporation. So it actually helps the skin to stay hydrated. Myth number 5, for hair, all that they do is they basically make the hair look good. Yes, they make the hair look good, but they also do a lot of other things. They are anti-frizz, they hydrate the hair, they prevent the hair from breakage, and they're used in a lot of hair treating products because they also prevent the hair from burning. So it does a lot. They also help reduce the damage of chemically treated hair. Myth number 6, they build up on hair and skin. Now this could be partly true, but nothing to fear. Let me explain. See, silicone derivatives are either water soluble or water insoluble. If it is water soluble, as soon as you put water on the face, it's going to be coming off your skin or your hair if you put water on the face. But if it's water insoluble, because it's not going to dissolve in that water, it's not going to come off easily. And dimethicone, which is the most common silicone derivative used in these products, is actually water insoluble. So to wash them off, let's say you're using it on your face, a moisturizer which is called dimethicone, to wash it off, you would need to use a cleanser. We all do use a cleanser at least once a day to cleanse our face. So that cleanser would remove that dimethicone. So if you're just splashing water on the face, don't expect that product which is called dimethicone to come off your face. And the same goes for your hair. If you've used anything which is called dimethicone, because it's water insoluble, next day or whenever you're washing your hair, you need to use a shampoo, a clarifying shampoo. A clarifying shampoo is the one which has got some good cleansing ingredients, and most of the shampoos, when they are clarifying, they do say that it's a clarifying shampoo. It's a good practice to use clarifying shampoo regularly to cleanse your scalp, whether you use dimethicone or not, because apart from dimethicone, there's a lot of other dirt and other unnecessary ingredients which do stay on the hair, which needs to be removed, and that can be done only with a clarifying shampoo. So we can't completely blame dimethicone or other water insoluble ingredients. They do a lot of good for the skin and the hair. So we need to do what we can do to get them off, and getting them off is not that hard. And it's actually something we need to do anyway to get them off and get off all the other dirt that's there on our skin and scalp. I finally want to very quickly talk about how silicone derivatives can actually help two skin types. See, for oily skin, they do actually feel very lightweight, and they reduce the shine on the face, and they don't cause any acne or other breakouts on the skin. So it's actually ideal for oily skin type. For dry skin, it is good, but just beware for dry and dehydrated skin. Dehydrated skin is not a type, it's a condition, but just beware if you've got dry skin or if your skin is dehydrated, because it does form a layer and prevent the water loss from the skin. That's the primary function of a moisturizer. So if your moisturizer has dimethicone alone, which does that, that wouldn't be enough for a dry skin, or if your skin is dehydrated. You need something thicker, something richer than a dimethicone, usually something like petrolatum. So that's just something. You can still use those moisturizers, but don't completely depend on them to help your skin stay hydrated. That's about it. I hope you found the video useful. If you did, please give me a like and do subscribe to my channel. That will really help me a lot, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.